Is this thing running? I think so. Let's hope so. Okay, so it is colder than a witch's tit right now, hence the heater. It's just like freezing, right? And that's why I'm wearing this and the heater. And okay, so what am I talking about today? Side piece. All right, okay. Side piece. No problem. Women basically satisfy three needs that you're going to have. The three needs are in order of importance: children, domestic comfort, and sex. Those are the three needs that you have from a woman. Those are the ones. Everything else is just what exactly do you need? Insofar as emotional companionship and shit like that, that's domestic comfort. Insofar as children, that's obvious. Insofar as sex, that's obvious. What more do you want from a woman? Now, if you can figure out how to get her to do your job for you and hand over the check at the end of the month, well, then you are obviously a genius and you need not watch the rest of this video, right? But if you're not, if you're just like a normal guy like me, okay, well, you got to keep in mind that women satisfy those three needs in that order: children, domestic comfort, sex. Sex is the least important. You who might not be having sex on the regular, you might think, no, buddy, sex is the most important. And I'm here to tell you, no, it's not the most important. It's, of all of the three items that a woman can provide, it is the least important, okay? If you're not getting it, it's like a big deal. If you're getting it, you don't even think about it. You will never find one woman who will satisfy all of your needs. So you have to prioritize the needs that are important. And this inevitably leads to you having essentially two relationships. One will be with the woman who is your long-term woman, the woman you want to have children with, the one that you want to form a family with and have a nice home with, the one who shares your objectives and who will be your helpmate insofar as you achieving those objectives, especially if those objectives are like a business where you're really on your own. You need a woman who's on your side, on your team, who's cheerleading you, who will be a great sounding board. I mean, you need that kind of a woman. That's your alpha woman. That's your track one woman. Sex is not important. Sex is trivial, and more to the point, sexual attraction is ephemeral, okay? It's very difficult to find a woman who really shares your life goal. Or not really difficult, I'm exaggerating, but it's not an easy thing. But getting a hard-on for a girl, that's easy. You walk down the street, and depending on the city, your pecker might get hard half a dozen times before lunchtime with all the trim that's passing you by, right? Right. Sexual attraction, that's easy. But see, sometimes you're going to be with a woman who satisfies the important ones, having children, domestic comfort, and life goals, if you want to put in there. But, the sex, it's become a little bit tepid, okay? And you find some hottie, some girl that you'd love to fuck, and you love fucking her, but, you don't see her as a long-term thing. You see her as a very, very short-term thing, okay? That's what a side piece is for. She is the side piece. She's the girlfriend. She's the girl you fuck, but don't want to have a family with, okay? Now, it's important for you to make the distinction. You're with some girl, figure out which she is. That's your number one priority. If she's a side piece, if she's just, you find her sexually attractive and you want to bang her, and you want to bang her brains out, but you don't want to have anything to do with her beyond that, or you don't even really like her, which happens all the time, and you certainly don't see yourself having children with her because she's just not the kind of girl you want to have children with, or just because she's a big old slut and you'd be worried that maybe the kid isn't yours, right? Look, insofar as a side piece is concerned, catch and release, baby. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your side piece, but never confuse her with your alpha woman, with your primary, with your track one girl, okay? See, they are two different things, and never confuse them. A lot of guys, they get into a lot of trouble because they confuse themselves and they try to confuse everybody else as to who they are marrying up. You see what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. See, you're a single guy, say. You're a single guy, and you're horny as hell, and you haven't gotten laid in a while, and you haven't had a girlfriend in a while, and whatever. And you come across this real hottie, and she's just, unfucking believable. She is just a great lay. And so you bang her, and you develop quote-unquote feelings for her. Now, she doesn't have your sense of humor. She's kind of stupid. She is very materialistic. She's a basically horrible human being. She's a great lay, but a horrible person. Would you marry her and have children with her? If you're thinking calmly and coolly and rationally, like an adult, you'd say, no, she's the side piece. But you have no idea how many guys fall for the trap of marrying the side piece. Don't be that guy, okay? Don't. Understand that dichotomy. There's the track one girl, the alpha girl, and there's the side piece, okay? And if you're married, and you're married, and you have children, and you have a wonderful home, don't feel bad about having a side piece. Just so long as those two parallel relationships never intersect, okay? But don't feel guilty about it, because you're a guy, you're a man, okay? And in the life of a man, frankly, it's you want to fuck the hot girl, You want to fuck her, sure, but you don't want to do anything with her. And throughout human history, it's been perfectly acceptable to have the wife who's the mother of your children, the wife who is the queen of your castle, right? And the side piece. It's perfectly normal. It's only lately that we have this weird bourgeois mentality that denies the reality of male sexual desire. Don't deny it, because you're going to make yourself miserable, and you're going to make your wife miserable. I'll tell you right now, having a side piece can a lot of times ease a lot of stress in a marriage, okay? It also, quite frankly, will keep your woman on her toes, okay? Because, see, having options, a man who has options is free. A man who does not have options is a slave to his circumstance. You know what I'm saying? It's something I've said a number of times, and it's totally true. It's one of those little aphorisms that just because it's an aphorism doesn't mean that it's not true. It is true. If you're tied up to one woman, that woman will know it, and she'll feel that she has you by the short hairs. See, you got a side piece, then you got options. And then the woman you're with, the important woman in your life, she will not feel as if she owns you, okay? Because you never want to have that kind of a relationship. You never want to have the kind of relationship where the woman you are with thinks that she owns you and can dictate your life and do whatever the fuck she wants. Okay? So a lot of times you will need to have a side piece so that you psychologically will realize that you have options. Okay? Now, side piece. Like I said before, catch and release. Catch and release. Have a good time with her. Yeah, take her out to nice places, but don't spend a lot of money on her. Okay? Don't buy her stuff. Don't buy her like a fucking car or set her up in some apartment or some shit like that. She has trouble making her apartment payments, slip her some cash, make a little direct deposit, sure. Her car breaks down, yeah, okay, spring for the repairs. But don't give her big ticket items, no matter how much she begs and wants and pleads for it, okay? Don't entangle yourself financially in your side piece. Just keep her there, keep her steady, kick some cash her way as much as she might need. But never make her depend on you. Never allow her to think that, how could I put this? That she has prospects for being the wife. Never allow her to think that, okay? Always make it clear to her that she is the girl that you are having a good time with. And whenever the conversation turns serious, you got to flip that around. And the easy way to do it is to say, no, I don't want to talk about that shit. I mean, why do you have to bring me down all the time? Say that, and the woman will back the fuck off. That's the ticket. Whenever a woman starts saying, oh, what about something more serious or moving in together, and you just spring, why do you have to bring me down all the time? Why do you bring me this shit? I've had a hard day at work, I just want to relax and have a good time, and now you bring me down. No girl wants to be perceived as the girl who brings down her man, and she'll back off the subject. But eventually you'll reach a point with your side piece where she's going to make demands, and she'll want something from you. She'll want to have some sort of commitment from you. When that moment comes, time to go. Don't hesitate. Because you have to understand, the side piece is somebody that you find sexually attractive, but you don't want to be with her. Never confuse those two women. They are two very separate and distinct women. One is the mother of your children, the other is the great lay that is the object of your fascination and your lust for a finite period of time. You know, the half-life of sexual attraction is about 6 months. You know, sometimes it's longer, sometimes less, but it doesn't matter. 6 months is the half-life. Think of it in those terms. You're with some woman, she's some side piece, and she's a great lay, and you find her really sexy, and you know she's hot, and it's great to go out partying and stuff, and all the rest of that, right? But there will come a time where you just got bored of her, and what are you going to be left with? You see my point? And don't be foolish. Be smart. Okay? A lot of guys have ruined their lives by not understanding that dichotomy between the alpha woman, the mother of your children, the woman who has the same goals as you do and who will help you achieve those goals, and the woman that you're sexually infatuated with. I mean, tragedies have been written about that confusion, okay? Now, final note. See, if you got your shit more or less organized, there is no reason why these two parallel relationships should ever intersect. I.e., there is no reason why these two women that you're handling, you know, your primary woman and your side piece, should know about one another. Okay? It happens. Sometimes you get careless. But for the most part, I've noticed that guys who want their primary to know about their side piece, well, it's that they're so unhappy with their primary that they don't know how to eject themselves from the relationship. So they allow their official woman, the mother of their children perhaps, to find out about the mistress, so that, you know, the wife, the mother of their children, their primary, she explodes and blows up the relationship out of outrage. A lot of guys do that. That's the coward's approach, quite frankly. I mean, if you're unhappy with your relationship, then just ditch her. You don't need the excuse of another woman. And don't create this kind of scandal, it seems to me. I mean, look, here we're moving into, you know, your own thinking. I mean, everybody's a grown-up. Everybody can figure out what to do on their own. But in my own case, if I'm unhappy in a relationship, I'll end it. I won't, like, accidentally allow my woman to find out about the side piece in order to blow up the relationship from within. If I'm unhappy with the relationship, I want to end the relationship, I will tell her. Because I have. And is it pleasant? No, of course not. Ending a relationship, especially a serious relationship, yeah, it's deeply unpleasant. You know, it's emotionally traumatic many times, right? Sure. But how can I put it? Accidentally allowing your primary to know about the side piece. No, don't do that. It's just a coward's way. And, you know, like I said, a lot of times it's a guy's unconscious desire to end his primary relationship. Okay? So you got to monitor yourself on that score. Now, insofar as you're with somebody else and your side piece knows, there are various ways to handle that. First of all, sometimes you're with the side piece and you tell her outright that you're married to somebody else. And a lot of times the side piece will be okay with that, okay? Because you got to keep in mind, a lot of times you're sexually attracted to some woman and you want her in your life, but she's equally attracted to you. I mean, you know, attraction is a mutual thing and it feeds on itself, right? A lot of times the side piece who's sexually attracted to you and knows that you're with some other woman, okay, she'll put up with it. And oddly and weirdly, and because it's the nature of women, a lot of times the very fact that you have somebody else in your life will make you more attractive to your side piece, okay? But here's the thing, never allow your side piece to know about your primary. That's my experience, because eventually the side piece will try to contact her. If she gets too emotionally involved in the relationship with you, oh yeah, it happens all the time. You got to keep those lines strictly delineated. Parallel relationships, parallel lines, they never intersect, right? Exactly, okay? Now, I'm talking about all this shit in a pretty cavalier manner, right? But the fact of the matter is, how can I put this? This shit is not that big of a deal, Okay, there are things that are much more important than who you're fucking. I mean, a sexual relationship, a good marriage versus a sexual relationship. Well, a good marriage, it's forever. A sexual relationship, a good, hot, intense sexual relationship is, like I say, a half-life of 6 months. Okay? Because a good marriage, you have things in common that are truly important. Sex is not that big of a deal. I mean, think about it. Why is it that big of a deal? Why has it been pumped up as such a huge issue in the life of a couple? Well, it's not. It's not that big of a deal if you recognize, like a grown-up, that no one woman can satisfy all of your needs. You recognize that, and then it becomes obvious that the least important of your needs, which is a hygienic need, in the sense that, its lack is noticeable, but its presence is, passes unnoticed. Yeah, a lot of times, your sexual relationship with your primary woman might not be the best because you spend enough time with a woman, you just cease being that sexually attracted to her. It's normal. And so you need a side piece. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about it, but be practical about it. Be practical about it, pragmatic about it, and don't try to, or don't allow the situation to hurt people. And certainly don't allow a side piece to blow up a good family, a good relationship with nice children and a nice life, a nice nest. Don't allow that to happen, okay? Because that's just irresponsible, and that would be on you, okay? If you allow it to blow up because of your stupidity, you've got nobody to blame but yourself, okay? Okay. I don't have anything more to say about this topic.